Hi, this is Rick Eymer with the Palo Alto Weekly, and we're here today with Max Jung-Goldberg. He's the second baseman for the Palo Alto baseball team. Last week he went 8 for 11 with 4 RBIs, 5 runs scored, and he's a leadoff hitter, so that's your perfect leadoff. And they won 2 of the games. They swept Los Altos to win the SCVL regular season title, and they're in the midst of playoffs, so they have a few more games to play. And he's on an 11-game hitting streak. He's been on base the last 17 games and straight. So we're talking about a pretty accomplished player here. So just talk about your week a little bit.
You know, it was a fun week. Saturday didn't really go our way. A couple errors that, are a little uncharacteristic for us. But, it was beating Los Altos and, getting that league championship, the outright league championship for the first time in, since I've been here, because the last years we've been co-champs with Los Gatos both years. But, I think for my success, it really comes from, the hard work that we put in practice, the coaching staff preparing us really well, and going out there and kind of just having fun with the game. The game it's not something where if you're super caught up in, yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow, it's pretty hard to play this game at a high level. But, for me, I just had fun and went and tried to get after it. And thankfully, I hit good pitches and hit the ball where the players weren't, so that made it pretty easy for me.
Correct. Now, you were saying a little earlier that you don't really care about the count so much. You don't want to work the count. You just want to, get on base any way you can, even if it's the first pitch. Huh?
Yeah, definitely. I think for my approach, I like to try to shoot the ball up the middle and see the gaps. And I saw a lot of fastballs early, and fastballs they're the most basic pitch to hit. So it's a lot more fun to hit fastballs than off-speed pitches, and I think that's a huge part of my success. Seeing the fastball early in the count, and not having to battle with 2 strikes, it makes hitting a little bit easier. Obviously, in the big leagues, you don't see guys hitting 300 with 2 strikes. So, if I can do it in high school, it makes it a lot easier for my game, hitting that first pitch, and then, getting on base for my guys behind me to drive me in. So
it sounds like you really put a lot of thought and study the game a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how does that translate? You got to be thinking about it as much as doing it physically?
Well, I think for me, my approach, right, is I work on a lot of stuff in BP, and, I work on my approach of trying to go the other way, shoot the ball up the middle, and, try to not, be somebody I'm not, so that when I get into the game, it just becomes second nature. And honestly, when I'm at the plate in games, I really never think about it that much, because, I trust my ability, I trust the work ethic that I've had for the last 10 years of playing baseball, and I trust my ability. So it's a lot of the work comes beforehand, and when you get into the game, it really just comes, hopefully, it comes naturally to me, I think, and I just let it play. I don't really try to think too much about it.
Yeah, well, it's less than a second before the ball gets on you, so a lot of muscle memory, I guess, has to be it. Now, we're talking about how well you did in the leadoff spot. Well, you get on base, but somebody else has to drive you in.
Definitely,
so you got some pretty good hitters behind you.
Yeah, we've got Stern came right out of basketball, and he started mashing. Ben's been mashing since day one, and Nico Lilios has been, he's been crushing the ball since day one too. So it feels pretty easy. Once I get on base, I trust them. Hopefully I get on to first, make my way to second, then they just drive me in. And we all believe in each other, whether it's the 9-hitter, the 1-hitter, the 4-hitter. We all believe in each other, so it's not, it's never been a doubt since the first game that, we're going to be able to score and manufacture runs, whether it's the first or 5th inning. We believe in each other, and I attest a lot of that to the trust and the camaraderie that we have as a team.
Yeah, and plus, the pitching staff is, I've seen you obviously score 10, 11, 12 runs in a game, but you're also capable of winning the 2-1 and
definitely.
Things, and that has a lot to say about the pitching. And
well, we have like 6 or 7 juniors, but we have our 2 seniors, Aaron Ekoff and Ryan Chang, have really stepped up. Ekoff missed all of last year due to an arm injury, and Chang didn't get a bunch of innings, but he made the most of what the innings that he got. And those guys are battlers. They're battle tested. They go out there and they give us 6 innings almost every game. So, we trust them. They throw a lot of strikes. They get a lot of ground balls. And the thing that's special about them is they trust us too. So that makes it really easy, to play defense behind them, because it's hard when you have a lot of guys who just don't trust in their own abilities to throw strikes and, get around guys who can hit, because there's some teams in our league that are really capable of putting up runs really quickly, but they trust us, so we trust them, and it makes it, on defense, it makes it really easy.
Yeah, it's when you mentioned about the one loss you had this over the weekend, it was to St. Francis, of course, which is not a bad team.
Yeah.
But you've play a pretty good schedule. I mean, then you beat Cormont, which is, PAL probably
definitely.
champion, and so how does that set you up for the CCS?
Well, I mean, like what we like to say is, I mean, we want to get to Muni no matter what it takes. I mean, we like to play with a chip on our shoulder, I think, and it doesn't mean we think that we're the greatest team, but we like to scrap. We like to go out there and we like to make things happen on defense, on offense. We don't. There's a lot of times where I think teams like they play a little tight and they don't really trust their own. They don't trust their lineup to hit. They don't trust their pitchers to throw strikes, and they don't trust their defense. And I mean, we trust all of our guys. I mean, whether we're up 9-1 or whether we're playing a 1-0 game, like we don't panic, right? We do a lot of the little things right, and that helps us whether we're trying to bunt a guy over, whether we're trying to run a bunt play. That the trust in everybody that we have as a group is, I mean, I think if anything, that's our biggest way to success, is if we just continue to trust each other and trust the coaching staff as well. It's hard when you have guys who don't get along well, right? There's not a lot of, I mean, that trust is, like I said, that'll be the biggest part for us. And I think that'll help us along the road, especially as we get closer to CCS. Right.
And then the last thing, it just seems like obviously when you go out there, you play hard, but you're going to have a lot of fun too.
Yeah. I mean, the game, like I said, it's a game. If you can't have fun playing it, it's probably not the right sport for you. And I mean, there's obviously the big leaguers, they get out 7 out of 10 times. And right, there are guys who can't handle it. But honestly, if you think about it, I mean, we're out here playing high school baseball. It's supposed to be a fun game. The expectations are that we just go out and have fun. If we play our game, there's a lot of chances we have to win, I think. And, that's the approach we take. We don't try to play we don't try to play bigger than we are, and we just try to do the game where we just try to play the game right. And that helped us out to this one. I think it's going to continue to help us out until, the season ends.
Yeah, great. So we've been talking to Max Jung-Goldberg. He's our Boys Athlete of the Week this week, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.